Let's use one structure for both reading and writing now. If you could jot down a little list, brainstorm a few moments in your life that something happened to damage either you or one of your possessions. If you can list 5 or 6, we're going to actually walk through this writing exercise. Here's my list. I cut my knee on an oyster shell in the 5th grade. Oh, and then there was a time that somebody borrowed my car, my Volkswagen, and totaled it. My camera was stolen. That was damaging. There was a little stuffed rabbit ballerina doll that our dog chewed up. And somebody ripped up one of my favorite pictures of my siblings. Those are some of mine. So if you can think of times in your life when something happened, make a page like this. That's our typical planning page. So choose one of your moments from your quick list and write it at the top where it says topic. Write it down there. Skip the part about the text structure because I'm going to share with you the text structure that I'm already planning to use. And then you write one sentence for each of the questions I'm going to ask you about that moment in your life. Do you see where it says number 1? For number 1, write one sentence telling what happened in that moment in your life. What happened? Number 2, why did you not see it coming? Or if you did see it coming, how did you see it coming? What damage did it cause? That's sentence number 3. And sentence number 4, what did you do about it? Or what will you do about it? Here's mine. I wrote about the ballerina that got chewed up, the doll. There's the structure. We call it picking up the pieces. And put this into your page too. What happened, why you didn't see it coming, the damage it caused, and what you did or will do about it. And here's mine. Our dog chewed up Matilda's ballerina doll. I didn't see it coming. Our things had generally been safe. The damage it caused, it broke Matilda's heart. I replaced it. And there is my Kernel essay. So where did this structure come from? I didn't think it up. I got it from a piece of work done by someone else, a mentor text. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by the naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. Yes, of course, it's FDR's Pearl Harbor address. What did that say in the first sentence? It told what happened. What's the next sentence going to say? You're right. It's going to say why we didn't see it coming. And the entire essay will follow the very same structure. Here's what that page looks like, what his speech looks like. This was actually a radio address. Everybody alive that day heard this on the radio. There it is chunked up or kernelized with the chunks summarized with notes there that created that structure. Here's another structure you could use for the very same sort of thing, where I was, what happened, and how bad it was. I could tell about the doll incident using this one. It would sound like this. I was at home. What happened was my daughter and I woke up and discovered that her brand new toy had been chewed up by the dog. How bad it was? Oh, the tutu was gone. One of the little shoes was now chewed completely off. It was bad. That's another structure that would work well for telling about that bad thing that happened. Now, you see, if you had a choice to tell about an injury in either one of these two ways, which way would you choose? Probably depends on what you wanted to say. You could pick either one. They're very similar. But take a look at where they both came from. The top one, of course, is FDR, and the second one is Humpty Dumpty, though they're very similar. What else could you do with a structure about an injury? What else could you do besides just telling about something that happened to you? You could write as a character from some piece of fiction. Any piece of fiction involves things happening that are conflicts, of course. That's what plots are made of. So often those plot pieces, the conflicts, involve some sort of an injury. Or you could write about a person from history. Pick somebody that you're studying in social studies and talk about some sort of injury that they experienced. Or you could write a piece of new fiction, write a news story. You could interview a relative who, if they've had a life, they've had injuries and accidents and things in their lives that have gotten damaged. That's what life is full of, unfortunately. But they make stories. And here is a little clue about what each of those could be. They could be a reading response, or you could use them as a formative assessment, or something creative in language arts. There's one structure and many uses. So what about when there's no injury? No damage, there's something else going on. Are there structures to use for other situations in our lives? Yes, and that's coming next.